Tom knew something was wrong. Eva's behavior, so different from usual, struck him like a bolt from the blue. The girl who greeted him every morning with a radiant smile and a raised hand that day walked past him without even meeting his gaze. In the meantime, if you don't want to miss other exciting and engaging stories like this, subscribe to the channel now and enjoy watching. Tom was a man who dedicated his life to protecting others. From a young age, he had dreamed of becoming a police officer, inspired by an incident that happened during his childhood. Growing up in a small neighborhood in Rimini, Tom and his best friend Tonio spent their days pedaling through the streets of the city, exploring every corner with the curiosity and carefree nature typical of children. They were inseparable, bound by a friendship that seemed indestructible. Their bond was strengthened during a seemingly normal day, when, chasing the shrill sound of sirens, the two boys found themselves in front of a bank, surrounded by the police. An attempted robbery had just been foiled, and Tom's face lit up with admiration seeing those policemen in action. It was at that moment that he decided, when he grew up, he too would wear that uniform and protect his community. Tonio, however, had a different dream: to take over the family shop and continue the business that his parents had built with so much sacrifice. Time passed, and Tom and Tonio's paths took different directions. Tom followed his dream, joining the police force and dedicating himself body and soul to his mission. Tonio, for his part, took care of the shop, working hard to ensure a peaceful life for his family. He married Mara, and together they built a happy family, crowned by the birth of Eva, a sweet and lively little girl who had inherited the kindness and smile of her parents. Tom always remained close to his friend, participating in the important moments of his life, and became a reference figure for Eva. The little girl adored him and saw him as a hero. Growing up, despite the impending adolescence, she never lost the habit of greeting Tom every time she met him during her patrol service. That simple gesture had become a sort of ritual, a sign of the special bond that united their families. But that morning, something had changed. When Eva walked past Tom without saying hello, the policeman immediately sensed that something was strange. His experience suggested that the missed gesture was not accidental. Eva was not the kind of girl who forgot to say hello, especially to someone she cared so much about. Tom's heart began to beat faster, a feeling of alarm making its way inside him. The day began like many others for Tonio's family. Mara was busy preparing breakfast, while Tonio was getting ready to open the shop. Eva, in the meantime, was getting ready for school, her backpack already packed near the door. Everything seemed normal, at least until an unknown boy showed up in front of Tonio, just as he was leaving the house. In an instant, what was supposed to be an ordinary day turned into a nightmare. The boy, Daniel, pulled out a knife, threatening Tonio and forcing him to go back into the house. The tension quickly grew, and fear took over Mara and Eva when they realized the gravity of the situation. Daniel, with the knife firmly in his hand, ordered Tonio to give him the money from the store, convinced that the previous day he had not deposited the takings. Tonio tried to explain that the money wasn't in the house, that he had left it at the store, and offered the keys so he could get it, begging him not to hurt his family. But Daniel, suspicious and determined to get what he wanted, made a decision that made Tonio and Mara's blood run cold. He would take Eva with him to the store, as a guarantee that Tonio was telling the truth. Tonio and Mara were locked in the bathroom, helpless, while Eva was dragged away at knife point. She was terrified, but she tried not to show it. As she walked beside Daniel, her heart was pounding. Her mind was racing, trying to think of a solution, a way to warn Tom without putting herself or her family in danger. And then she saw him, there, standing in the road, just like every morning. Ava knew she had to do something. But what? If she spoke, Daniel might react in unpredictable ways. So with a lump in her throat, she walked past Tom without even looking at him. Tom watched the scene with growing uneasiness. The absence of that greeting, so ingrained in their routine, struck him as a warning signal. He couldn't ignore it. Following his instinct, he decided to intervene. Discreetly, he contacted the police station, describing the suspicious situation he had just observed. Now, if you're enjoying the story, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for your support. With his heart in his throat, Tom followed Ava and Daniel, keeping a safe distance so as not to arouse suspicion. The tension grew with every step as he watched Eva enter the family shop, still closed. Deep down, he knew he had to act quickly, but also with extreme caution. The thought of what might happen to Ava paralyzed him, but at the same time gave him the determination to not let anything go wrong. A few minutes later, police cars arrived, surrounding the store. Tom knew that every next step had to be executed with precision to prevent Daniel, now with no way out, from harming Eva. The tension was palpable, the silence almost oppressive. Inside the store, Daniel felt the police grip tightening around him. He understood that there was no escape. After a few moments of desperation, he gave up, letting go of Ava, who, with her heart still in her throat, ran out of the store, finally free. Tom saw her leave, and a deep sense of relief filled him. In that moment, he knew he had done the right thing, that his instincts had not betrayed him. He immediately went to Tonio's house, where he found his friend and Mara, still locked in the bathroom with terror painted on their faces. But when they saw Tom, they understood that everything was over. Ava was safe, and the robber had been arrested. Sometimes the smallest signals can be the most important. When someone close to us suddenly changes their behavior, it may be a silent cry for help. It's up to us to pay attention, listen to what's not being said, and take action when necessary.